So we're recording. Good morning. Welcome to the class. Glad to see you. I hope everyone had a nice holiday. So I'm going to move back. I'm going to stay in my chair right here, but I'm going to settle back into the chair so I can stay upright and moving, taking that sensation down through the feet on the floor and just feeling that. And so you can lie down, of course, or you can be seated on the mat, or you can be anywhere that you're comfortable. Just start by noticing every part of the body that's connected to, I like to call it the earth, connected to the mat or the floor or the chair. Just noticing, feeling that solid grounding. And then softening from the face and the neck and the jaw. All the way down to the toes and the fingertips. You can move gently here if you choose. Eyes closed or soft focus. And breathing into the belly, just notice just gentle breathing as the belly expands and contracts. We spend much of our life breathing into our upper chest. And to move that inhale down into the belly is a very relaxing exercise. Now deepen the breath, taking the inhale a little bit deeper into the middle chest from the belly and then into the upper chest. Keep the exhale as long as the inhale, or maybe even a little bit longer. And perhaps each succeeding breath is even deeper than the last one. Finding Ujjayi breath. Again, keeping the neck relaxed, the shoulders released. And one more really deep inhale, filling all the way up to the top of the chest. Open the mouth and exhale. And one more deep breath. And exhaling through the mouth. Feel the belly settle back toward the spine. Good. Open the eyes. They were closed. And just some gentle movement here. Good. All right. So we talk about yoga for back pain, except that when you really look at the types of poses and postures that are recommended for back pain, they end up being many of the same poses and postures we do every time we do yoga. So essentially, yoga itself, with very few exceptions on the postures, is healthy for the back. So we're going to move down to the mat. I'm going to go through a number of the postures that they recommend for back pain, and maybe a couple that they don't have on the list, but work just fine. So bring the hands behind the knees and then come down onto your back. Good. All right. So here we are again, starting by noticing the connection, feeling the heels, the backs of the heels, and the hips, the legs, the shoulder blades, the back of the head, the arms and hands on the mat. Now bring the feet all the way into the hips. So we'll start with this gentle hip rock. So with the feet in close to the hips and the knees pointed straight up to the ceiling, and I have my hands down by my side palms down. So as you exhale, just rock the hips a little bit up toward the ceiling, press the low back down into the mat. And inhaling, taking the belly, moving it gently up toward the ceiling without lifting the hips. Exhaling, press the low back into the mat. A couple of rounds with your breath, just inhaling and exhaling here. And you can make this as intense as you want. Incorporating that Ujjayi breath. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. And coming back to that neutral spine, take the arms wide with the feet in close to the hips. Then we'll do a gentle twist here. So let the knees fall off to the right, turning the gaze gently toward the left, and just let it go. Just release through the hips. Breathe into the hips. Shoulder blades on the mat. And that left hip is lifted. And now bring the knees back to the ceiling and the knees hip width apart. Take the knees left and the gaze to the right. And the knees back up to the ceiling. Bring both knees into the chest. And now just gently rock side to side, or you can circle the knees. And bring the feet down to the mat. Extend both legs long. And bring the hands behind. And as you inhale deeply, one long big stretch, pressing out through the heels as you reach back through the fingers. And then exhaling, release. And you can leave the left leg extended or bring it in toward the hip as you bring the right knee into the chest. Just hugging that knee in, finding that sensation. Remember, you don't go to pain, you go to sensation. Circle the toes. And if you want here, you can activate, if that left leg is extended, you can have that left foot be active. And with the right hand, just draw that right knee up and out toward the right shoulder. Good. Ease. Take the right knee straight up to the ceiling, and then with the left hand, draw the right knee over the left leg, and you'll need to extend that left leg. Rest the foot on just above the knee on the thigh, and then turn your gaze to the right. So coming up onto the left hip. Don't let the hips fight you, so you relax the hips. And you can make this as intense as you choose to make it. Good. Bring the right knee back up toward the ceiling. And extend the right foot straight up. Again, your choice to activate that left leg as you press up through the right heel. Feel the muscles tight in that right thigh. And bring the hands just above the knee or below the knee. Interlace the fingers. And keeping the leg strong, just gently move the leg toward the back of the mat. And as you inhale, release. Exhale, draw the leg back. Inhale, release. And exhale, draw the leg back. And inhale and release. Good. Let go of the leg, point the toes, and draw circles on the ceiling with the leg. And go the other way. Good. Flex the right foot, still pressing up through the heel. Take a breath. And then lift the head and the shoulders off the mat. Lift the left leg off the mat. Now both legs are active, fingers reaching past the lifted leg. One more deep breath. Now exhaling, bring the left leg down, keep the right leg lifted, strong, head and shoulders down. And now as you exhale, slowly lower the right leg down and point the toes and lift it back up. And flex the foot and lower. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Yeah, good. Toes out, palms up. Just notice. Good. Keeping the right leg extended, or you can bring it in, the foot in. Bring the left knee into the chest. Hug it in, circle the toes. And now take that left knee up and over toward the left shoulder. Good. Bring that left knee up toward the ceiling, and with the right hand, let that knee drop out to the right. Extending the left arm. Now just release here. Again, don't let the hips fight you. Bring the left knee back up to the ceiling. And now extend the left foot straight up. You can be active through the right leg as well as the lifted left leg. And what we're doing was we're really trying to maintain flexibility in the hips and strength through the muscles in the legs, in the low back, in the belly, and in the hips to support the spine. Now point the toes. Well, I don't think we're there yet. So lift the head and the shoulders, lift the right leg, and reach toward the top of the mat with the hands. And I did leave something out that I'll get to it. One more breath. And lower the leg down, lower the head and the shoulders down. And take a breath, reach up and interlace the fingers behind the knee. And now as you exhale, gently draw that leg toward the back of the mat. Inhale and ease. Exhaling, draw the leg, staying strong through the leg toward the back of the mat. Ease. And one more time, taking the leg back. Inhale and ease. Good. Point the toes. Circle the leg. And go the other way. And then flex that foot, pressing through the heel, slowly lower that leg down. Point the toes and lift. And flex and lower. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good, all right. Now turn the palms up and just breathe. Bring both knees into the chest. Gently rock. And both feet straight up to the ceiling. And stay strong through the legs. And open the legs wide and point the toes away. And you can have your hands behind the knees if you choose. And now bring the legs back up. Bend the knees, bring the feet down to the mat. Take the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. Turn the palms up and release. Okay, so let's extend the legs long now. Bring the arms overhead and walk the feet over to the right. Cross the left ankle over the right. Keep the hip bones on the mat and take a hold of the left wrist with the right hand. And banana to the right gently here. Good. Release the wrists. Bring the hands to feet to center and off to the left. Cross the right ankle over to the left, keeping the hip bones on the mat. Banana left. Try to keep the neck and the face relaxed. And now bring the feet to center, release the wrist. Good. Bring the feet all the way into the hips, knees pointing straight up. And we're going to do some bridges here. So press into the mat with the feet. And you can either roll the hips up if that feels good for you, or you can just take those hips and press them straight up to the ceiling. Good. Exhale and come down. Inhale, press with the feet, lifting the hips. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. Bring the right knee in, and with the strap of your hand, reach up and find the outside edge of the right foot. And then turn that foot, bottom of that foot, straight up to the ceiling. You can extend the left leg. It's a little more intense that way. So we're in half happy baby. And if you can't quite get to the edge of the foot, you can do this by grabbing onto your ankle or anywhere that you can get hold of. But the bottom of the foot is straight up to the ceiling. Good. Release and bring the right leg down. Bring the left knee into the chest. And then grab a hold above the ankle or the edge of the foot. I like to extend my right leg and half happy baby. Good. Release. Bring the left leg down. Bring both knees in, once again into that reclining cobra pose with the knees wide. Bring the knees up to the ceiling. Lift the feet, bring the hands behind the knees, and we're just going to do some gentle rocking up and back. So just bring the knees of the feet up toward the ceiling and then gently rock up. And then back down to the shoulder blades. And you don't go very far back. Not to the back of the head for sure. And just up and back. And as we've done before, the next time you come up, come to a balance. Good. And you still can hold on behind the knees. Knees are bent. And then roll back down and come up to balance again. Oh, overshot. And one more time, coming down and up to that balance. Knees are bent, just straighten the right leg. Left knee bent. And then bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. And straighten the left leg. Good. Coming forward into cobbler pose. Bringing the heels in toward the hips. And breathe. Good. Bring the knees up. Bring the feet around behind you. Come into table. And we'll move into one downward dog before we come down onto our belly. So curl the toes, lift the hips, press back through the heart toward the knees. Gently move the head. And then gently using one or pressing one heel down toward the mat and the other. So in our down dog, take the heels over to the right. So you're coming on to the outside edge of the right foot, the inside edge of the left foot, the ball in the heel of the left foot. And take the heels back to the ceiling. And now take the heels to the left, outside edge of the left foot, the ball in the heel of the right foot. And the heels back to the ceiling. One more breath in downward dog. And then bring the knees down. And you can walk the hands a little bit closer toward the top of the mat as you come down into knee plank. This is core strength. And bend the elbows, coming down all the way to the mat. Good, all right. Bring the elbows under the shoulders, come into Sphinx. Good. Make this gentle. You don't have to be intense here. Just let the belly kind of gently settle toward the mat, lifting the gaze straight ahead, shoulder blades on the back. Low back flexibility here. And don't forget to breathe. Good. Bring the right arm across, the right forearm across under the face. Come on to the right hip. We move into Vishnu's couch. So bend the top knee, the left knee, reach back to the foot. Quad stretch. So, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to keep the large muscles in the legs flexible and long. Because when those muscles get tight, it puts stress on the hips. So gently move the left heel toward the left hip. And you're thinking about trying to keep the right or the left knee over top of the right. And release the foot, bring the hand to the inside of the knee, and then peace fingers to the big toe, and take the left foot to the ceiling. Remember to stay strong through that right shoulder. Release the toe, bring the left hand down to the mat. Keep the left heel lifted, pressing up toward the ceiling, and then slowly lower the left foot down. Point the toes and lift it back up. Flex and lower. Point and lift. And flex and lower. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Now bring the left hip over the right so you are long, and then just keeping the toes, the left toes pointed out to the side, just lift the left leg up. And then exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Good. Back over into Sphinx. And if you choose, you can take the elbows wide and bring the right side of the face to the mat. Let the heels turn out and just breathe. And the left side of the face. Yes, okay, coming back up into Sphinx. Again, take a breath or two right here, letting the belly gently settle down toward the mat, shoulder blades onto the back, looking straight ahead. And bring the left forearm across, coming onto the left hip. Staying strong through the shoulder, bend the right knee, reach back to the foot, stack the knees, and then gently draw the heel toward the hip. Good, release. Bring the right hand to the inside, finding the big toe. Vishnu's couch. Bring the right hand down, pressing through the heel, strong through the lifted leg. Slowly lower the leg down. Inhaling, lift the foot. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Flex and lower. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Stack the hips, strong through that left shoulder, and then lift the right leg and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower. And roll back over into Sphinx. Good. From here, you can take the elbows wide, take the right side of the face to the mat. And the left side. So bring the chin, or if you choose, the forehead to the mat. Bring the hands under the shoulders, but with light pressure in the hands, come up into Cobra. Just lifting the head and the upper shoulders. and pressing the toenails down into the mat. And now breathe. Two more deep breaths in Cobra. Exhaling, go ahead and take the chin down or the forehead down, whatever you choose. And now bring the hands down by your side, palms down. We're coming into locust. So take a breath, release. And on your inhale, lift the head and the chest, feet and the legs, hands and arms. Flex the toes, press back through the balls of the feet. And breathe. Gaze is straight down at the end of the mat. Long neck here. Lifting and breathing. Two more deep breaths here. Exhaling, take everything down, turn the palms up, the right side of the face to the mat. Good, take the left side of the face. And one more core strength, coming back up into our Sphinx with the elbows under the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Press the knees down into the mat, lift the hips. Good. Stay right here if you choose. Again with the long neck. Or curl the toes, press back through the heels so the knees come off the mat. Good, now breathe. Feel all three bandhas here. That Ujjayi breath in the throat, the tightness in the belly, the little bit of tightness at the bottom of the torso. All three bandhas. Breathe, one more breath. Now bring the knees down, bring the hips down, take the elbows wide, bring the right side of the face to the mat. Left side of the face. So bring the hands under the shoulders, come up into table, take the hips back toward the heels with the knees a little bit wide, come into child's pose. So we did a lot of low back stretching here, long through the spine. So now we're going to just round and release in child's pose. Walk the hands up toward the top of the mat. Hands are strong, pressing down into the mat. Let the head release toward the mat. Inhaling, come up and forward, keeping the arms strong and straight. Bring the shoulder blades onto the back. Let the gaze lift straight ahead. Exhaling, hips back toward the heels. Inhaling, coming up and forward. The hips dip, gaze lifts gently, elbows toward the center. Exhaling back. And inhaling, coming up and forward one more time. Upward dog, gently. Exhaling the hips back toward the heels. Ah, yes. And bring the arms in, cross the arms, rest your head on the arms or on a block. Whatever feels good, gently move the hips. And coming up into table, awkward pose is always included in a list of postures for back pain. It always is. It's just a back strengthener. So extending the right leg, toes down, we'll press back through the right heel. And then take that right foot hip height, extending the left arm in. We're in awkward pose. Strong through that lifted leg. Core strength. Bring the left hand down, the right knee down. Take a breath. Again, moving here. And extend the left leg, toes on the mat. Let the left hip go. And coming to awkward pose, extending fingertips to heel. One more breath. And the hand down, the knee down, open the knees, take the hips back. Again, into child's pose. Good. Coming up into table, take the knees wide as the mat. And now bring the ankles behind the knees. You're going to go, oh no, not frog. And come down onto your elbows. And then gently move the hips toward the back of the mat and breathe. Believe it or not, you can relax in this posture. Good. Gently come forward. Bring the knees back under the hips. Oh my goodness. Good. So move here, taking the hips side to side, rounding the back, just gently moving. Good. So let's press the hips out to the right. Keep the gaze straight down at the center of the mat. Bring the weight onto the right knee. And come to center. Now take the hips left. Pressing the hips out. Feeling the ribs open. Coming back to center. And take the hips to the right. And back to center and hips left. And back to center. All good. All right. So we're going to come to standing for our spinal flow. Can't do a back flow or a back class without spinal flow. So curl the toes, come into downward facing dog. Good. Again, working the heels. Step the feet toward the hands. Inhale, come to half lift with the heels turned out slightly. Gaze is straight down, press the belly toward the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. And lift the hips to the ceiling. Top of the head releases toward the mat. But the belly's on the thighs. And now bend the knees and round up. Take the shoulders back, inhale the arms up. Gazing up. And exhale, come into mountain pose. Inhale the arms up, pressing down through the feet. And now exhale the right arm down, arcing right, left shoulder back. Inhaling up. Exhale, arc to the left. And inhale up. Arms wide, palms to the ceiling, twisting to the right. Inhale up. And now that twist to the left. Gazing back toward the back of the mat. Inhaling up. Hands in prayer through the heart. Long spine to that forward fold. Release the head. And then bend those knees. Hands out in front. Reach forward. Press with the feet. Coming up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Gaze straight ahead. Drawing the arms back. Exhale, mountain pose. Ah, good. Yoga flop. We'll do head to knee before we go down to the mat to finish. Step back with the right foot. As far back as you want. 2 lanes for the feet. And those right toes are turned out. Square the hips to the top of the mat. Bring the hands behind. Press the heels of the hands together if the fingers are interlaced. And come over the left leg. Arms are strong. Hands are lifted. Let the head release. Get long through the spine, inhale up. And press the fingers toward the mat and take the gaze up toward the ceiling. Move the right hip toward the front of the mat. And come up. And now step the right foot up, step the left foot back. Interlace. Shoulders back, exhale, fold. Good, inhale up. Still gripping the hands, pressing the heels together. Lift the gaze, and then take the left hip toward the top of the mat. Ooh, yeah. And coming up, step forward. And inhale the arms up, moving down to finish. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale back into plank. Good. Breathe. And bring the knees down and the feet around to the front. Hands behind the knees. Excuse me, coming down onto your back. Bring both feet into the hips. Knees straight up. Just take a breath. Bring the left ankle onto the right knee. Flex the left foot, figure 4. And a little movement to the right. Good. Bring the foot down, release the ankle. Take a breath. And bring the right ankle onto the left knee, figure 4. And bring the left foot down, release. Good. Take the arms wide. And let's bring the feet as wide as the mat, if that's okay for you. And take the knees to the right, gaze to the left. And knees to the ceiling, and knees left and gaze right. And knees to the ceiling, and both knees into the chest. Good. Take the knees wide. Gently rock. Whatever feels good. And extend the legs long and the arms behind. Full body stretch. Just really reach and inhale deeply. And exhaling, come to your Savasana. Noticing the connection with the earth, softening and releasing. So wiggle the toes, the fingers, roll the wrists. Stretch if you'd like. And when you're ready, you can come over to one side, gently pressing up. So thank you for practicing with me today. All right, turn the recorder off here.